What is going on, everybody? Thammagotcha here. Welcome into season 17 of the Go Battle League. We're going to be checking out new Incinerate Pokemon, Darmanitan, as said in a comment on one of my community posts, and Talonflame, both with Incinerate and Talonflame with Fly. Let's check out these battles here to see how well Incinerate does. So, hopping into the first matchup here. Sorry, there's a little bit of a non-play there, but Raichu into Cradily. These are rank 1 battles, so expect to see some spice here. And this is a spicy Pokemon, Raichu with the hat and the sunglasses. You love to see it. Rock Slide gonna be coming in, gonna be doing some decent damage against Raichu here. Raichu being a very glassy Pokemon, so definitely not the best Pokemon here in the Open Great League, but if you want to run some spice, you're going to run some spice, and that is what I am running with Darmanitan here. And out comes a Kangaskhan with a newly buffed Mud Slaps, and it is just slapping up this Darmanitan. So I'm going to come in here with the Talonflame. As these Mud Slaps are going to be resisted due to our flying typing, they go for the Outrage, and that was completely massive of a shield here. Going for the Flame Charge to boost our attacks here. Flame Charge going to be knocking out that Kangaskhan. Back in comes a Raichu. We Incinerate down. Out comes a Celebi. And this is a Brave Bird? Yeah, whoa, Brave Bird. Left, right, good night. And our first one of the season. You love to see it. I do think I switched to Fly in the next battles. I don't think I stuck with Brave Bird, but it could be nice to run Brave Bird just to like throw your opponents off, thinking that it's just going to be a Fly and a big Brave Bird comes in. But anywho, into the next matchup, Terrible League gonna hop into my Darmanitan, going for the Psychic here. That does massive damage on the bulky Azumarill, and Azumarill did get a buff as well, so expect to see a video of that later on in the season. They get the full farm down, which is quite fine by me, because I'm going to save both of my shields for my Talonflame, and I'm going to Bullet Seed this thing all the way down. Azumarill going to get another Ice Beam off. That's not going to KO us. Cradily has some nice bulk to it, and now out comes a Medicham. They do get the farm down, which is a little scary, but the good thing is here is I'm going to shield up this Ice Punch, as they did build up for enough for the Psychic, and the Psychic would probably do massive damage on my Talonflame, as I don't have the best IVs for my Talonflame, but either or, Flame Charge going to be coming in, doing neutral damage, but buffing up that Incinerate damage. Gonna call that this is just an Ice Beam, and from here we're gonna shield up another Ice Punch, and we should have about the back-to-back Flame Charges here locked and loaded, and we farm down the Medicham. You love to see it. Back-to-back Flame Charges coming in. First one gets a shield, second one is gonna absolutely delete this Alolan Sandslash. Left, right, good night. One Incinerate to take out the Azumarill, and that's gonna be a good game. Well played to my opponent there. Hopping into the next matchup here, Alolan Marowak into Cradily. Terrible League gonna hop into my Darmanitan here, and they come in with a Lantern. I'm gonna go for the Psychic, as he is the most damaging move here. You run Focus Blast or Overheat, but I just decided to run Psychic, Rock Slide, as those are the two moves that I would get to the fastest with Darmanitan, because it is just a glass cannon here. The good thing is we're gonna get a shield back. Oh my gosh, they let it go, and hopefully we can get to a Rock Slide before we get to a move, but I'm just gonna let this move go through. Shadow Bone gonna be enough to KO Darmanitan. We won Switch Advantage, but I don't think we necessarily needed it, as I could have threatened the Rock Slides with Cradily, so maybe that was the wrong call. Not shielding the Shadow Bone either. They get the defense fall, which is absolutely brutal. Flame Charge gonna get that shield right back, and out comes a Superior here. As long as this thing doesn't run Leaf Tornado. Oh, that is terrible, because Leaf Tornado has a potential to double debuff us, and these Rock Slides actually hit for decent damage here. So another Rock Slide going to be coming in, not enough to KO, but enough to put it into a range where I can farm this thing down here with my Talonflame if my opponent lets me. They go for another Leaf Tornado, and we get the attack drop. That is absolutely horrid. So I'm intentionally letting the Superior KO me. I'm going to come in with my Talonflame, hopefully get the farm down, but my opponent smartly swaps into the Alolan Marowak. Shadow Bone coming in, we get another debuff, and that is going to put the nail in the coffin. One more Fire Spin is going to be enough to KO our Talonflame, and we're not going to be able to get to the next Flame Charge. That's going to be a good game. Well played to my opponent. So hopping into the next matchup here, pretty decent lead here. We're both doing super effective damage, but the issue is that they are going to get those Icy Wind debuffs So I'm gonna throw my Grass Knot on 4, swap into my Darmanitan to hopefully catch the Icy Wind here, which is gonna be resisted, but boy, that do some damage on the Darmanitan. But that's the CMP tie. Rock Slide probably not gonna be getting the shield here. Don't want to go for the Psychic, as that is double resisted due to their dark typing. Night Slash gonna be enough to KO us, and now I can come in with my Talonflame, but they get the boost. Not gonna really matter. All we have to do is shield once, farm all the way down, and we have a boatload of energy for whatever Pokemon wants to come back in, and it's going to be a Talonflame. Okay, Fly gonna be coming in here. That does not get the shield. Surprisingly, gonna go for another Fly here. Fly does a decent amount of damage, not as much as the Brave Bird, but you don't get the debuff, which is absolutely amazing. Because if I Brave Birded there, then I just would have got Ice Sharded down by this Dugong here. But instead, I can just go for a couple more Incinerates, and Incinerates are just shredding through the bulky Dugong. One more Incinerate is gonna do the trick, and that's gonna be a good game. Well played to my opponent. Incinerate with that 5 damage buff. Oh my gosh, is it ever a menace now? Look at the Incinerate damage going against the Galarian Stunfisk. One Incinerate did like 30% of that Galarian Stunfisk's health, and that is absolutely massive. Gonna go for the Rock Slide just to put it to a range where I can go one more Incinerate and they don't get to another move. That is beautiful. Darmanitan putting on a clinic here. Out comes the Heracross, and I'm going for the Psychic. The left, right, good night. Say good night to that Heracross, and out comes a Trevenant, and they are not ready for the Fire type. So my opponent quits the match, and that's going to be a good game. Well played to my opponent here. Credilli into Talonflame. My gosh, they decided to swap out right away for some reason, but that's okay. I'm gonna hop into my Darmanitan here, gonna no shield what probably is gonna be a Frenzy Plant resisted move. My goodness, is Darmanitan ever classy? We almost got one-shotted by a Frenzy Plant, but the good news is we have back-to-back Rock Slides here to threaten this figure off. But even better, we got the Psychic. Psychic's gonna do massive damage. Gonna come in now with the Talonflame. Gonna get a little bit of a farm down, try to catch the Rock Slide on the Credilli, but we end up catching a Body Slam, which is gonna resist it anyways. So we get a nice little farm down, and then we can go for a Rock Slide here. Rock Slide is going to be doing some decent damage, probably one-shotting the Talonflame. Double super effective due to that rock flying typing. I'm going to no shield here. I don't think that was the play. Maybe I should have double shielded, but because the issue is now my opponent is going to get so many flame charges off here, and one Fly is not gonna KO. So I definitely should have shielded there to got to my second Rock Slide, because I definitely would have made it, and my opponent baits me with the Flame Charge. One Fly, again, not gonna be enough to KO here, and my opponent has enough for the Brave Bird here. Brave Bird coming in left, right, good night, and that's gonna be a good game. Well played to my opponent there. Hopping into the next matchup, another Sandslash lead. Gonna swap into my Darmanitan, but out comes a freaking Mandibuzz, and my gosh, Rock Slide is gonna be coming in. That gets the first shield. That would do massive damage even to the bulky Mandibuzz. Again, Darmanitan is super attack weighted. Can we get to another one? We cannot, unfortunately. That 5-turn fast move really coming in, showing why it's slow, not able to get to that second Rock Slide. But either way, I'm gonna take all these moves here with my Credilli, go for a couple of Rock Slides here. Rock Slide, gonna almost get the KO. I'm gonna let this move go through, and then I'm gonna come in and snipe here with my Talonflame, getting that one energy head start, but they keep their freaking Mandibuzz alive, which is honestly quite fine by me. Fly is gonna be doing massive damage on the Medicham, almost one-shotting it. That is absolutely beautiful. Gonna shield up what potentially could have been the Psychic, and from here it's just gonna be a pretty easy game. Alone Sandslash comes in, we get the Incinerate off, get the Flame Charge to boost the Incinerate damage, and pretty well one Incinerate should delete this Alolan Sandslash. Oh my gosh. That was massive. Had the Fly loaded, but the opponent gets to a move. Can we live a Shadow Ice Punch? Yes, we can. That was not even worried. Just a little bit worried actually, but the Incinerate KOs. 3-2 to start the set there. Hopping into the next matchup here, Cradilly into Azumarill. Pretty great matchup here. I'm going to throw 5 bullet seeds onto the CMP tie here for the Grass Knot. Grass Knot going to be doing super effective damage. Ice Beam is going to be doing super effective damage back to us due to that grass typing. So going to shield it up because they shielded. The good thing is that we're going to win CMP tie here. I can always over farm 5 bubbles or bullet seeds because it's 5 bubbles to each of their ice beams. And if they want to shield, I'll just shield right back. No point in getting my Cradilly knocked out here. So they swap into a Marowak, but I do have enough energy for a Rock Slide here. Rock Slide could be doing massive, super effective onto that Marowak. We come in with the Darmanitan. We have no shield remaining, so we're just going to have to eat this Shadow Ball. Holy, okay, Shadow Ball left, right, good night, Darmanitan. I'm gonna come in with my Talonflame, hoping to get to that flame charge, but unfortunately we cannot. Shadow Bone does massive damage onto the Talonflame. This Marowak is going on a clinic. Back out comes the Azumarill. I'm going to throw this fly here just to put it into a range where a Grass Knot will KO. I hop into my Cradilly. They're not swapping out. We reach the Grass Knot before they get to the Ice Beam. Grass Knot takes out the Azumarill. Out comes an Obstagoon, and this is looking terrible. Cross Chop is going to be taking us out. If I had enough energy for the Rock Slide, the fly could have possibly, with the combination of Rock Slide, could have taken it out, but too much to handle in the back there. Venusaur on the lead. We're going to hop into the Darmanitan. They hop into a Pelipper, and this is why I really like Darmanitan. The flying type wants to come in to this. They're going to get hit with a Rock Slide, and I'm going to end up no shielding this move. I could just come back in with my Cradilly here, go for a couple of Rock Slides to take out this Pelipper here. I'm gonna no shield. They're probably gonna be going for the Hurricane, but Hurricane does not knock out, and Hurricane is a massive move. Cradilly having some bulk to it, which is super nice. Back out comes the Venusaur. I'm gonna catch the Frenzy Plant on my Talonflame. You love to see it. Out comes an Alolan Ninetales, and my opponent just, I think, quits the game. Yeah, definitely a lot of lag going on. They definitely just completely top left it here. So Flame Charge is going to be knocking out the Ninetales, and 2 Incinerates are going to be taking care of this Venusaur here. Look at the damage. My gosh. It is insane. So hopping into the next matchup, another Alolan Sandslash lead. Gonna be hopping into my Darmanitan. Out comes another Azumarill. I'm gonna throw 4 Incinerates here and then go for my Psychic. Psychic is gonna be doing massive damage onto this Azumarill. Well, not really massive damage. Nice damage onto the Azumarill. And I'm hoping to grab a shield here with the Rock Slide, which we do. They get the full farm down, but I'm not too worried about that. Gonna let all these Ice Beams go through here. I just want to get this thing low enough, but it's going to be a play rough. Even better, I want to get this thing low enough where I can come in with my Talonflame, and 2 shield Talonflame is going to have a heyday pretty well versus everything in the meta. We actually get the full bullet seed farm down. Out comes the Medicham. They only have 1 shield. My opponent concedes the match because that's going to be a good game. Well played. I just had to boost up my Incinerates. I wonder if you boost it up 4 times, will 1 Incinerate destroy an Alolan Sandslash? We have to test this theory out. But anyways, hopping into the next matchup, Cradilly into Carbink here. Carbink is not going to be appreciating these Grass Knots or Bullet Seeds. Cradilly can survive a Moonblast, no problem. We're going to be able to outpace significantly here, getting to another Grass Knot, which is almost enough to KO that bulky, what do you call it? What's his name? Carbink, the dead one that's just got fainted. But now out comes a Swampert. We get the Psychic off. Psychic does massive damage onto that Swampert. You love to freaking see it. Cradilly's gonna come in, get the full farm down, not before Swampert gets to a move, unfortunately. So I'm gonna shield up this move. I'm gonna go for the Rock Slide here. Unfortunately, I don't have the back-to-back, and the Incinerate is gonna KO us anyways. But now it's a 1 shield versus 1 shield on Talonflame here. Gonna no shield the first one, predicting that they're just gonna go for the Flame Charge, but it was the Fly. Like I said, we're gonna be able to survive the Fly. Oh, no problem. I'm gonna boost up my attack here with the Flame Charge. We get the shield. You love to see it. Gonna shield up the move back, as we now should be able to outpace to the next move here. Fly is gonna be well enough to take out this Talonflame, and this is gonna be a good game. Well played to my opponent. Left, right, good night. G to the G's. So hopping into the next matchup here, Cradilly versus Meowscarada. and it is a Charm Masquerada. Oh my gosh, the spice on this trader. 2 Incinerates. Was there a Lucario on my screen? I don't think so, but 2 Incinerates absolutely melt that Lucario. Masquerada comes back in. I probably could have just incinerated all the way down, but we're gonna go for the back-to-back rock slides here, just to take care of those shields. We're gonna come in with the Talonflame. Talonflame is gonna make quick work of this Masquerada. Out comes a Frogadier. We're gonna go for the Fly here. Fly gonna be doing some nice neutral damage. The spice on my opponent. I love the spice. You love to see it. Gonna go for the Grass Knot to make quick work of this opponent, and that's gonna be a beautiful 5-0 run here to end the set. And that's going to be my first video of this season. So welcome in everybody to sorry, 4-1, not 5-0. That's good. Welcome into season 17. I'm gonna have another video coming out very soon about Scald, so make sure to tune into those. If you guys are liking the content, please hit that like button, comment if you want to see anything in the future, and like always, I'll see everybody in the next video.